Imagine a weapon so devastating it can eliminate every person inside a heavily fortified building or deep within a cave without damaging the structure itself. Although this sounds like science fiction, it's very real. These terrifying devices are known as thermobaric weapons. Such munitions are truly nightmarish, capable of injuring and killing people hidden behind corners, inside caves, or entrenched positions. Thermobaric weapons unleash indiscriminate destruction, and if that sounds horrifying, consider a thermobaric bomb more potent than America's strongest nuclear weapon. While it seems improbable that thermobaric weapons could exist, their concept is straightforward. Traditional bombs have their explosive power constrained by factors like weight, explosive composition, and distance from the target. Regular bombs rely on chemical reactions involving various explosive compounds, all of which fundamentally require oxygen. Typically, oxygen is incorporated during manufacturing. Thermobaric weapons, however, flip this concept entirely. Whether called thermobaric weapons, vacuum bombs, or fuel-air explosives, the idea remains the same. Thermobaric weapons generate a two-stage explosion. First, a smaller blast disperses highly combustible fuel across a specific area. This isn't ordinary car fuel, it's specialized solid-state rocket fuel. Once atomized by the initial explosion, it becomes highly volatile when mixed with oxygen from the surrounding environment. The subsequent reaction rapidly consumes local oxygen, drawing even more oxygen from further away into the explosion zone, causing a massive pressure differential. This creates an enormous shockwave capable of bypassing barriers, infiltrating doorways, hallways, tunnels, and trenches. Thus, these munitions are aptly termed vacuum bombs. The destructive power of thermobaric weapons is indiscriminate, affecting both military personnel and civilians without distinction. Due to their uncontrollable nature post-launch, many argue they should be prohibited on battlefields. However, how widespread are these devastating weapons globally, and how frequently are they deployed in actual combat? The answer may surprise you. Thermobaric weapons have gained popularity as the underlying chemical processes have become clearer. Creating these munitions involves significant experimentation with various fuels and deployment methods. Today, numerous countries, including the United States, actively utilize them. Although the U.S. military emphasizes precision-guided munitions, commanders recognize that sometimes overwhelming force, like a sledgehammer rather than a needle, is required. When America needs this powerful option, it has several thermobaric weapons ready for use by air and ground forces. The Navy and Marine Corps have integrated thermobaric warheads into existing platforms, like Hellfire missiles and shoulder-launched multipurpose systems. The only specially designed thermobaric weapon developed post-Persian Gulf War is the Blue 118 bomb, based on Vietnam-era napalm canisters. These munitions were repurposed during the War on Terror, addressing the need to neutralize terrorist hideouts deep within cave systems. Air Force researchers developed thermobaric bombs with delayed fuses, allowing aircraft to drop bombs that penetrate deeply into cave tunnels before detonating. Tested extensively in Nevada, this bomb saw combat in 2002 when US F-15 fighters successfully obliterated an Al-Qaeda cave complex in Afghanistan. Although the US possesses various thermobaric munitions, their use is strictly limited and authorized only under critical circumstances, ensuring civilian casualties are minimized. Russia, however, takes a dramatically different approach. Since their involvement in Afghanistan, Russian forces have extensively embraced thermobaric weapons as core elements of their military strategy, starting with the formidable TOS-1. Mounted on a T-72 tank chassis, the TOS-1 launches thermobaric rockets over several kilometers, easily identified by its 24 rocket launcher system. Approximately 50 units exist, exported to countries such as Iraq, Syria, Azerbaijan, and Algeria. Russia further developed a portable thermobaric system, the RPOA Shmel or Bumblebee. Introduced alongside the TOS-1, this man-portable rocket packs explosive power comparable to a 155mm artillery shell, with a range of several hundred meters. The disposable shmel has been deployed extensively in Afghanistan, both Chechen conflicts, Georgia, and Ukraine since 2014. Additionally, Russia employs numerous thermobaric aerial bombs, notably the ODAB-500, operational since the 1990s and heavily utilized in Chechnya and Ukraine. Russian forces have consistently targeted civilians in Ukraine, exploiting the bomb's ability to penetrate air raid shelters. Fortunately, Ukraine's military has developed its own thermobaric arsenal, notably the RGT-27S grenade. These compact grenades, dropped from drones, have effectively disabled Russian armored vehicles. But how did thermobaric technology evolve from large missiles to handheld weapons? The origin of these weapons remains clouded in mystery. Some speculate that Nazi Germany experimented with early thermobaric devices during World War II, but little concrete evidence supports this theory. The earliest verifiable thermobaric weapon was the US-developed CPU-55 during the Vietnam War, designed to neutralize Viet Cong tunnel networks resistant to conventional bombing. Combat trials conducted in late 1971 and 1972 were promising, but further development halted with US withdrawal in 1973. Conversely, the Soviet Union independently developed thermobaric munitions about 7 years after the US did. By 1987, Soviet forces reportedly deployed the TOS-1 and shmel systems in Afghanistan. Russia intensified its reliance on thermobaric weapons, compensating for insufficiently trained and demotivated infantry by overwhelming opponents with massive firepower. This strategy saw heavy use in Chechnya but encountered limitations in Ukraine, where Russian aircraft risked being shot down, and superior Ukrainian counter-battery technology turned firing a TOS system into a near-suicide mission. Nevertheless, Vladimir Putin claims to possess an even more devastating thermobaric weapon capable of demolishing entire cities, dubbed the father of all bombs, mocking the verified US mother of all bombs. According to Russian claims, this experimental weapon yields 44 tons of explosive force, quadrupling the American version's power and comparable to tactical nuclear weapons. However, this claim is widely considered exaggerated. Footage suggests an impressive explosion from a heavily modified Tu-160 bomber reminiscent of Russia's Tsar Bomba tests. Still, Russian assertions about advanced nanotechnology creating immense heat and pressure remain unverified. Crucially, Russia has never employed this bomb operationally, despite its dire need for effective munitions in Ukraine. Had it genuinely existed or been effective, Russia would have almost certainly deployed it by now. For now, the world remains wary of thermobaric weapons, weapons of horrific power capable of unimaginable destruction.